humanity will discover alien artifacts constructed by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. June 17, 2019. It is estimated that the known universe contains more than 1 trillion billion stars and 40 billion planets. So it's fair to bet that one is the home of intelligent life forms. Humanity will discover alien artifacts constructed by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. Supposed alien object on the surface of the moon. Despite the high probability that aliens exist somewhere in space, mankind has been unable to find them officially. The quest for extraterrestrial intelligence SETI is one of the most fascinating areas of astronomy, although it has so far not responded to the larger question of the cosmos. Are we alone? To help solve this dilemma, astronomers are now searching for traces of alien technology in an emerging, if controversial area of research called the SETI artifact. Proponents of the urge to find extraterrestrial artifacts, objects made by aliens, are already spying through space in an attempt to discover gigantic cities, satellite networks or megastructures. Some even think that our own solar system may contain probes sent by advanced civilization, wrecks of ancient spacecraft, or even evidence of ancient settlements on planets like Mars or Venus. However, other experts have criticized the discipline as entertainment science and question whether there is any reason to look for such tiny needles in the mega haystack of our incredibly gigantic universe. Professor Avi Loeb, chief of the Department of Astronomy at Harvard University, is among the most respected astrophysicists in the world. He surprised the scientific community last year by refusing to rule out the possibility that a strange cigar-shaped object that crossed our solar system could have an alien origin. Astronomers named the space rock Oumuamua, and said it was an interstellar visitor who formed in another star system before traveling here through the void of deep space. Loeb not only considered the idea that the object was constructed by an extraterrestrial civilization, but also suggested that it could have been a light-tail ship, calling his fellow scientists to keep an open mind about its origins. We talked to Professor Loeb to ask what kind of alien technology astronomers are now looking for. He said examples include artificial light, industrial pollution or starlight reflection from photovoltaic cells, solar panels on the surfaces of planets around other stars, megastructures or satellite fleets. Space archaeology with our best telescopes may reveal technological equipment floating in space, similar to the 2 Voyager probes we have launched and are now leaving the solar system. But we must keep in mind that travel time is very long between the stars. It would take the Voyagers about 100,000 years to reach the stars closest to the Sun. The equipment could therefore already be extinguished if it belonged to a civilization that has died so far. He said the artifacts we are likely to encounter include the debris of highly sophisticated technologies, which could be the debris of alien spacecraft. Loeb added, perhaps our best way to get their hands on them is to find objects that collide with the Earth and survive like meteorites. Is the truth out there? When astronomers peek into deep space in search of alien technology, they are often looking for large objects like a Dyson sphere, a theoretical Death Star space station, built around a star to harvest its energy. A civilization capable of building a Dyson sphere would have to be highly advanced because it would take decades or even centuries to build such a structure. Jason T. Wright, an associate professor of astronomy and astrophysics at Pennsylvania State University, became world famous after speculating that the mysterious behavior of a distant sun called Tabby star was caused by a megastructure moving in front of it. He told us that the SETI artifact suffers from a poor public perception driven by false news that stained the idea to the point that most scientists do not touch it and many tabloids do not resist it. He said, the idea that we should investigate scientifically the evidence of alien technology in the solar system goes back to Ronald Bracewell in 1960, although, of course, people have speculated about Martians and such things for centuries. Only 100 years ago, it was entirely reasonable for scientists to discuss the possibility of technological life on Mars. In the 1960s, Mariner probes showed that the Martian surface has no obvious signs of great technology, and so people have assumed that it and the rest of the solar system should not have any kind of technology. In addition to distant megastructures, clues about alien life may be hiding right under our noses on the surface of nearby planets. Wright asked, of course we can rule out the existence of large cities on nearby planets, But what about minor things? How long would something last on the surface before not recognizing it as technological? I hope that these issues will finally be addressed scientifically soon. The quest for larger structures in space requires a different strategy. Wright continued. Finding artifacts outside the solar system is a completely different matter. In that case, we would not be looking at images of things, but perhaps the heat they emit, or their shadow as they pass in front of a star. These kinds of artifacts would have to be tremendously large, bigger than Earth, for us to notice them. We asked what kind of chance we would have to contact aliens if we really identified one of their megastructures. He replied, very low. Space is great, so if we find something around a star 1,000 light years away, our radio waves have not even reached them. Even if we establish communication, it will be thousands of years between messages, so the contact will be very limited and slow. However, Wright believes that if we find signs of an alien civilization, it is probably still alive. He added, on a cosmic time scale, things do not tend to last long after their creators or maintainers go away. So what happens to the possibility of finding alien probes near Earth? Wright replied, there is no reason to think that these probes could not be built, but you would have to build a huge number of them so that we could see one of them flying through the solar system. There are hundreds of billions of stars in the galaxy, and if there are artifacts moving between these stars, they will spend most of their time in deep space where no one would notice them. On the one hand, by chance, passing through the solar system around now, there would have to be thousands of trillions of them throughout the galaxy. But of course, it is possible to build many machines, if they are called von Neumann machines. Johnny von Neumann was a scientist who discussed the implications of building a machine that could build a copy of itself. If you built one of these in space on an asteroid, the idea was that it could build a copy of itself, so those copies would create copies. Eventually, they were without an asteroid and have to be able to jump to the next. If they could travel between stars, then on each star they could turn all asteroids into more copies. With such a scheme, you could possibly have enough so that they were everywhere. The Great Silence. Despite our efforts, humanity has so far failed to discover even the most basic form of alien life. Officially, of course, humanity will discover alien artifacts built by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. 1. The Milky Way seen in the night sky over the island of Fehmarn in the northern Baltic Sea. Photo by Daniel Reinhardt/DPA/AFP. However, there is a risk that we will not recognize alien life or technology if we find it.